Hey y'all, welcome to card one of the 2014 Christmas card series here at Race and Crafts. Today I'm going to be working on my first card of the season, I'm sad to admit. I am using this adorable image here from the Greeting Farm. This is Holiday Anya 1. And she is so stinking cute. For a list of supplies and measurements, click the information bar below for a link to my blog. I will list the colors of Spectrum Noir, and I did use one Prismacolor marker on there. I also will give you a list of the layer sizes, the dyes I used, and if I use digital images, I will link you to where you can find them as well. I want to give you a little heads up. When you go to my blog and there's die cut images like I did here, it will say the die I used, the set I used, and the die numbers that I used, okay? Like on this one I used the Spellbinders Nest Abilities labels 8. And on the blog it'll say 1, 4, and 5. And what I do is I start on the smallest die, and that is 1. And then I count my way out. So I used 1, 4, and 5 on here. So that way you guys know exactly what I used. And I find that helpful because a lot of people have these stamps. And I think it is awesome to know exactly what dies fit without having to spend, you know, my time, which has become more and more limited, to find what I need. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to start by doing my stamping. I've got a lot of stamping I'm doing today, so let's just jump in and get started. I'm going to start by powdering the inside of my card here with my anti-static powder tool. And then I've got all of my stamped images I'm going to be using. I have them already on my transfer sheet for my Stamp-A-Majig, because I want to, I'm going to be embossing everybody, all of my stamped pieces today. And I am horrible at making things straight, as you can see here, because, yeah, I just suck at that. So, I'm going to go ahead and line this up and pull this out. And I'm going to stamp my stamp with some Versamark ink here. This stamp I'm using is one that I have removed the, I guess it would be called unmounted. It came on a wood block, and I took it off the wood block. It's a stamp by, I'm pretty sure it was Stamp-Abilities. And I don't know the name of it for sure because I haven't been able to find the block that I took it off of. But I'm pretty sure it's called The Greatest Gift or something like that. Okay. I'm using some Recollections tinsel embossing powder in gold. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to pull everybody out of the way here, because I'm going to go ahead and set this before I go ahead and stamp the next part. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull my 2 pieces of foam back in here, because I'm going to stamp Merry Christmas. And you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and wipe this one off, so I can't get it spread around. And the Merry Christmas I'm using is also one that I unmounted myself. Okay. And this is, this one I know is a Stampability, and it's Merry Christmas 7, I think. It'll be on the vlog too. Alright. I still didn't get it straight. I am horrible at stamping straight, guys. I'm not. I make no jokes about that. I really am horrible at it. Okay. And I just have a couple oopsies there that I'm cleaning off. And I'm going to bring that out of the way here, and I'm going to set this one. And I'm going to set that piece aside, and I'm going to bring in the little piece that I'm going to use, and I am going to grab a piece of removable adhesive here on this guy because it's super tiny. But my image here is super tiny. And so I want to be very careful with that. And I'm going to go ahead and ink this up with some Versamark as well. This stamp is from the Paper Tray Ink Christmas Poinsettia stamp set. And it just had a really cute, really small sentiment because I didn't want something big, and I didn't have a whole lot of room left on the front of my card. So I just wanted to have a little something on the front. So, oops, and I forgot to powder this. So I'm just gonna have to kind of do the best I can getting the small little flakes off here. And it might just be that I just clean up the edges and call it good. You know what, that's not too bad. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my lid on my embossing powder and get that out of my way. And then I'm going to go ahead and set this one too. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this card together. I'm sorry if you can hear background noise, but it's football season, so. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just start by layering the inside of my card together, and I'm just going to use some ATG. I just really like ATG. I do use snail adhesive sometimes, but if I have ATG, I'm going to use it. And I'm just going to throw a little bit extra on here because of all the embossing we did. And I'm going to get my hair out of there. That is one major hazard with long hair. Okay. And I'm just going to line up. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my card base. And my card base is just white cardstock here. And it is not, it's a 7 by 9 inch piece scored at 4 3/4. And it is the size that will fit in store-bought Christmas card envelopes. For those of you who are wondering, I get those after Christmas. I love that. It works great. Okay, there we go. And now let's start on the front of our card. And as you'll see, I used my front layer to get my layering piece for my stamped image, and I used the layering piece for my stamped image to get the sentiment piece. So, oh, I forgot one piece on the inside of our card here. I've got just this little piece of green here that I thought would be cool to add the pattern paper to the inside as well. And I think I'm going to just add it on this side over here. I think so. And I'm going to use I'm not real great at doing things straight or lining them up, so the good thing about ATG is you can kind of manipulate it and rub it off if you need to. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start I'm going to just go ahead and that's pretty close. Alright, now let's go back to the front of the card. That was just the little piece that I cut off when I cut this pattern piece down. And this was a piece that I got out of my scrap bin. So it's not like if you trim down a regular size piece of cardstock or pattern paper, you're going to get that size, because it's not going to happen. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on this guy. And I'm going to line it up with the lines on my grid here. And I think we're, well, not quite as good as I thought we were, but that's okay. So now I'm going to grab my Holiday Anya here. And I'm just going to line her up in the middle. Like that. And then I'm going to put Anya here on some foam adhesive. I'm using some foam tape, but I want to put my little sentiment here on, and I'm going to use some ATG on this as well. I'm just going to do a couple strips there. Oops. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of figure out where I want Anya to be here. And then I'm going to put our little sentiment on the bottom there. Okay, I'm just going to grab a little bit of foam tape, and I am going to put a piece in the middle there. And I'll go ahead and peel the backing off. And we'll just line her up like that. And I do have to tell you that I did go ahead and use some Wink of Stella clear brush pen on the white areas of her dress. You can't really see that, but it's there. Okay, so that's card 1. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see y'all next time.